Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest of Washington Life. And today I am going to do what has become quite popular on booktube lately, which is the tier ranker, and specifically for Harry Potter characters. So I wasn't going to do any of these. I think they're really fun to watch, and I kind of rank the characters and like the movies and all those things as I watch people do these videos, but I specifically saw my friend Erik over at Break Even Books do this and commented that we had quite a few differences in our rankings of characters, and he asked what they were, and because I wasn't writing them down, I couldn't like recall from memory all of the characters that I had placed differently. So I told him that if he sent me the link for this specific tier ranker that I would do it and share those answers with him. So that's what we're doing today. I am going to minimize the screen and share with you the actual board so that you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so we've got the characters down here that we will be ranking. And I decided to just copy what Erik had put for the tiers. So the very top is Expecto the best, then you have great tier, then good tier, then okay tier, and Avada their booty. So the first character is Eye Moody, and I always think he's such an intriguing character. I always forget that he is actually Barty Crouch Jr. for the majority of the time that we get to know him. So we don't really know the real Eye Moody until the 5th book in Order of the Phoenix. So I think he's really intriguing. I think though that he has given Harry a lot of good advice, even as Barty Crouch. He's just very knowledgeable and he's just really interesting. So I'm actually going to put him in the great tier. And I'm going to say this now, there were already spoilers. There's going to be a lot more spoilers if you continue watching this, if you have not read or watched any of the movies before. So just know that going forward that I'm going to be talking about some major plot points and things like that. So next character is Argus Filch. And I kind of feel bad for Filch because he is a squib and he wants to be a wizard, and he's stuck being the caretaker for this school that is full of all these ungrateful little witches and wizards, and he just has to go about cleaning up their messes, and he's an angry guy. Like I would be too. I'd be really annoyed at these little snotheads. Also though, he works with Umbridge in Order of the Phoenix, and he's just I don't think has some of the best motives all the time. He loves his cat, but he's also a little turkey. I'm gonna put him in the okay tier just because I don't have a lot of thoughts on Argus Filch, but I think just because he works with Umbridge, that kind of demotes him a little bit. Next, we have Arthur Weasley, who is one of the best father figures in this entire series. He does so much for his family. He loves his wife unconditionally. He loves his kids. He's just very curious about the world, and I really like that he is not so stuck in the wizarding world, and he really wants to learn more about the Muggle world and just kind of figure out weird things like the function of a rubber duck and other things like that. I'm gonna put him in the best category. So now we have the real Barty Crouch Jr., who is a complete snake. Young kid got in with the Dark Lord, bad stuff, you know, takes over the body of a professor, and one of the greatest Aurors of the time, and he's no good. He's gonna be the first one to go in the Avada category. Next, we've got the Bellatrix Lestrange. I always forget until I do rereads that she has a husband. I always thought that she just had the hots for Voldemort, but she is in love with him in a like master servant way, not in a like I'm so romantically attracted to you way. She's a bad lady. She tortured Neville's parents with the one of the unforgivable curses and made it so they have to live in St. Mungo's so that Neville does not get to be with his parents and instead has to be raised by his grandma. I think the character is played very well. Love Helena Bonham Carter so much, but the actual character of Bellatrix, she's bad. So I am going to put her in the Avada category. Next, we have Bill Weasley. And I'm always a little sad that we don't get more of Bill and Charlie, the eldest Weasley siblings. Makes sense because they're out of the house. So we've got Bill. He is a smarty pants, works for Gringotts Bank. And other than that, what we really get to see him in is getting married to Fleur. And was that the first part of, yeah, first part of Deathly Hallows. Other than that, we see him come back in the last part of Deathly Hallows with the Battle of Hogwarts, and he gets scratched. I don't think he gets bitten by Fenrir Greyback, who is also on this list. I would like to know a lot more about Bill, but because we don't, I'm going to put him in the good category, just because I don't really know much about him. Cedric, technically, I guess Harry was my first book crush, but Cedric was the one that I just fell head over heels in love with. And his life had to come to an end so soon. He just... Ugh, doggies. They're mad about Cedric dying as well. He's just a good guy. He's a Hufflepuff. He's very highly intelligent, good at Quidditch, very strong connection with his dad. And like I said, he's my first, like, real official in love with, like, book boyfriend. And I just expect the best from him. Then we have Cho Chang, who I have very differing feelings of because she took my man and she strung along Harry. And she just is a little too emotional for my liking. She's also a good Quidditch player. Also, she's in Ravenclaw, so I should like her because I'm also in Ravenclaw, but I just don't like Cho Chang. So I'm going to put her in the okay tier. And then we have Mr. Fudge. The part that sticks out about him the most is his green bowler hat, and in Prisoner of Azkaban when he tells Harry to watch out for the split pea soup and you better eat it before it eats you, and that's like what I think of every time I eat split pea soup now. He makes some pretty poor decisions and won't listen to Dumbledore when he tells him that Voldemort has risen to power again. I don't think he necessarily needs the Avada Kedavra curse on him, but he's definitely just okay. He made some pretty poor mistakes that got him kicked out of the ministry that should have listened to some sage advice and he would have been okay. And so would the Wizarding World. Then we have Miss Fleur Delacour. And I struggle with this character a bit. I would have liked to see, since she was the only girl picked for the Triwizard Tournament, I was really hoping that she would be like a very strong character. You have to, I know it's random, but also the schools, Durmstrang and Beauxbatons, only brought the best of their students. They didn't bring everybody. So I would think that she would be more capable than she kind of played out to be during the tournament. And I think that's just with the writing. So I don't see anything wrong with her. She's just kind of good in my eyes, but I would have really liked to see her be better. This is going to be quite controversial, and this is one of the big differences that Erik and I had. I think he put Sirius in Expecto the Best. I don't like Sirius Black. He's not one of my favorite characters. His death was sad in how it happened, but I don't think he would have been a good father figure for Harry. He wanted a best friend. He didn't want a son. And it might have been nice for Harry to be with somebody who knew his parents, but also kids need structure. And so I think of anyone, I would have rather seen Harry placed with the Weasleys versus Sirius. I think he would have loved Harry and doted on him, but he also would have expected Harry to be his next best friend and kind of the replacement for James. Which I can see because, you know, Sirius got put in Azkaban at a young age, and he was there for, what was it, 12 years? And so he didn't get to grow up like he should have been able to. But I don't like Sirius. So for me, he's kind of in between good and okay, but I'm going to put him in good just because he is a good person. Now we have Dolores Umbridge, and I'm just going to drop her in Avada right now. I mean, she's awful. She doesn't listen to any sort of reason. She is quite brainwashed in what the ministry has deemed best for the population. And I don't like her. Don't like her one bit. She got what she deserved, to be attacked by those centaurs. So now we have Draco Malfoy. And his character is always interesting to me. He's a whiny, snivelly brat who is quite privileged. But also we do see a lot of character growth and development with him. He is thrust into a position that he does not want to be in, but he has no choice because family is prized above everything. You have your very specific loyalties to family. And he is incredibly loyal to his mother and father, which makes it so that he has to do things that he doesn't want to do. We really get to see a turning point at the end of Half-Blood Prince, and even more so too, I think, with Deathly Hallows. So I think Malfoy is going to go in the good tier because there is a lot of good in him. It just unfortunately is overshadowed by the bad that he has to go through. Now we have Petunia Dursley. I am actually going to put her in okay. I know she was jealous of her sister. She was jealous that she is just a muggle, and Lily actually got magical abilities and was put on a pedestal in the family. So she's got a lot of resentment for that, obviously. She didn't have to take Harry in. And I think if there wasn't a little bit of love in her heart for her sister and her sister's son, she wouldn't have. She would have closed the door on them regardless of what the owl's note said and what Dumbledore demanded. However, she was not a good mother figure to Harry. She could have been so much better. She could have opened her arms and been loving and giving and all those other things. So I think just because she did open her home to Harry, she doesn't deserve to be evaded. But I also think that she could have obviously been a lot better. And I think she realized that as the series went on, but it was too late at that point. Dudley sucks until the last book. So I struggle because I kind of want to put him in the okay tier, just because of the last scene that Harry has as he's leaving number 4 Privet Drive. But it took basically 17 years to get to that point, and I think it was probably a good turning point for Dudley at that point, but I don't think it was enough for the series to kind of redeem him as a good character. So he's unfortunately gonna get the curse. And Uncle Vernon is just a meanie head. Like I said, I think a lot of the animosity that Petunia showed towards Harry was because of Vernon. He is just not a good person. That's that. Okay, so we've got Fenrir Greyback, who is a bad man. I am also going to Avada him because he is a werewolf, obviously, and it is obviously in their nature to bite people. But he went just to level 10 in that he would specifically target children and turn children, which I don't like, and that's not okay. I mean, it's, you know, not okay to attack normal people and make them turn into these things that are then controlled by the full moon, but especially because he targeted children, which, no. Then we have Dumbledore, and I like Dumbledore. I think he imparts a lot of wisdom. However, he let students like defeat the Dark Lord and go head to head with them, and he just held so much back from Harry that he shouldn't have. He should have imparted all his wisdom from the get-go. I don't know if he was trying to save Harry by it, but then also like saving him, but then making him do the work. I think he can go in great tier. He's definitely not the best, and I think he's a little higher than good. But he could have done more. Then we have the twins. I like the twins. I don't love the twins. I think they're fun for the comic relief. I think they're quite intelligent, but they're still troublemakers, and if I were in school with them, that would have annoyed me to no end. So I am actually gonna just put them in the good tier. Oh boy. Okay, Gilderoy Lockhart. He stole lots of people's ideas and then put memory curses on them, which is not cool. And then that backfired on him by using a broken wand, and then he ended up in St. Mungo's. I think this always disgusts me because he is a Ravenclaw as well. But he's just okay. I don't think he's one of the worst things out there. He didn't do great things though. And I think he got what was coming for him. That was definitely karma straight to the face, like literally. So he's just okay. Then we have Ginny Weasley. And I know a lot of people prefer book Ginny over movie Ginny. I don't really remember her from the books. She doesn't stand out too much to me. And kind of like Cho Chang, I don't like Ginny because in the end she got my man. So I think she's just good. I don't think there's anything that stands out a lot about her to me. She's just good. Then we have Harry, who is thrust into quite the position as a young 11-year-old man, figuring out that he had a family, a very loving family. He is a wizard. He's accepted into this school of witchcraft and wizardry, and also the person who murdered his parents and also attempted to murder him is still in some form alive. He goes through a lot. He's also going through puberty. He is annoying at times, but like, if you were also going through a changing body and also having a fight to live, I think you'd do the same thing. So I'm going to put Harry in the best. Then we have Hermione, who the last time I read the books was on audiobook, and she just really annoyed me as being such a know-it-all. And I think that's probably because I'm the same way and I want to be the one who knows everything, but then I would have had to compete with Hermione, and there was a girl like that when I went to school, so I didn't like her. But I mean, without her, the boys would have been dead like 10 times over, so I'm going to put her in the best as well. And then we have Slughorn, who's a little slimy and a little creepy, by collecting students for their achievements and the people they know. I think it's interesting because he's the one who imparted the knowledge of Horcruxes on Tom Riddle. But other than that, he's just kind of a sleazeball, so I'm going to put him in okay tier. And then we have Kingsley Shacklebolt, who is one of the greatest characters, I feel like. Undercover working for the Ministry of Magic, but also in, not Dumbledore's army, the Order of the Phoenix. So two-time and some people, he's a good character. I'm going to put him in great. And then we have Voldemort, who wants nothing but the purest of races of wizards and witches, even though he himself is half, right? And attacking an infant baby, all because of some prophecy. So he is gonna get the killing curse. We also have Lucius Malfoy, who is just another slime ball, out for personal gain. He's just a very privileged man. He is also going to get the killing curse. And then we have Luna Lovegood, which I don't know of anyone who doesn't love Luna. I really wanted to be cast as her when I was younger. I never auditioned, so there was no way I was going to get cast as her. But I have always had such a special place in my heart for Luna, so she's going to go in the best. And same with McGonagall. I think she could have done a lot more for the students as well, especially Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and helping them through the things that were going on, but they also held a lot back from her, and I'm sure Dumbledore did as well. But she is just such a fierce woman, and I think she's awesome. We also have Molly Weasley, who's going in the best. She is the fiercest mama bear I think I've ever read about. She has such an open and loving heart for not only her children, but her children's friends, which she makes me want to be like her when I grow up. I am grown up, but you know, I just want to be that mom that all the kids want to go to and, you know, kind of confide in and know that they can go to her for extra love and all that stuff. I want to be Molly Weasley. And then we have another mom, Narcissa Malfoy, who in the end helps out Harry because she's a mom, and also because it kind of helps out her son. I think maybe if circumstances were different and if she had a different spouse, she could have been a lot better. But unfortunately, we don't get a lot from her until we hit Half-Blood Prince, and where she makes Snape do the unbreakable vow. I'm gonna just put her in okay just because we don't know a lot about her, but she kind of rides the line between okay and good in my opinion. And then we have Neville Longbottom. Fun fact, I share my birthday with Neville. Woo woo. And he could have been the prophesized one. You never know. It was Voldemort's interpretation of the prophecy for who he chose. I think Neville grows so much as a character throughout the entire series, from standing up to Harry, Ron, and Hermione as they try to go and find the Sorcerer's Stone in the first book, to basically leading the charge and slicing off Nagini's head in Deathly Hallows. He's intelligent, but it doesn't seem like it because he's very clumsy. I can relate. But he knows a lot, and herbology is his thing, so I'm going to put him in the best. Then we have Tonks, who I think is an interesting character. I don't particularly think too much about her, so I'm kind of just going to put her in good. And then we've got Peter Pettigrew, the worm. An absolute snake. Turns his back and just backstabs his best friends. He's gonna get the killing curse. And Remus Lupin, who is one of my favorite characters in the Harry Potter universe. He's going in the best. I think he's such an interesting character. He gets bitten by Fenrir as a young kid and has to deal with turning into a werewolf every month. And he's got these amazing friends who study how to be I never know how to pronounce this. I always pronounced it animagus, but I think it's animagi. I don't know. But basically they learn how to shapeshift so that they can be with him while he deals with his monthly curse. But even through all of that hardship, and even with having so many doors closed to him and people turn their backs on him, he just has such a good spirit and outlook, and he just wants everything to be good. So he's one of the best. Then we have Rita Skeeter, who, you know, she does what she does so that she can feed herself, I guess. She really twists some stories though, and really sheds people in a bad light. So I'm going to put her in just the okay tier. Little Ron. He is super moody as well, but we see a lot of character development for him. It takes him a while to get there, unlike Harry and Hermione, who kind of get there a little faster than him. But I still think he's a great guy, and he is one of the best. Then we have Hagrid, who is just such a gentle giant. He really, he's one of those that kind of builds family with friends. He's a found family kind of guy, in my opinion. And he does so much for everyone and expects nothing in return, so I think he's one of the best. And then we've got Rufus Scrimgeour, who I don't remember a whole lot. I think he comes in Deathly Hallows, I believe. I remember him with Percy showing up at Bill and Fleur's wedding and trying to convince Harry to kind of be the spokesperson for the Ministry of Magic. He's just okay. Snape. I know this is also another super controversial character. A lot of people can't forgive him for how he treats kids. And a lot of people love him for what he does towards the end. A lot of that love is because of Alan Rickman and not so much Snape. I'm going to put him in the good tier. I think he has a lot of good qualities about him that are overshadowed by his bad qualities. So he's just kind of good to me. And then Professor Trelawney. She's kind of just okay to me. I think she's a little kooky and a lot of fun, but I wouldn't take divination. And I just think that her most notable achievement is the prophecy. Okay, so last two, I'm hoping we can do this before my camera overheats again. We have... Oh, I didn't finish saying what I was thinking about Trelawney. Her most notable achievement is the prophecy. Other than that, she's a good person, but I don't think much of her. So last two people, we have Victor Crumb. I'm going to put him in just good. We know he's a really great Quidditch player. We know he is still in school. We know he develops a really good friendship with Hermione because she finally sees him as someone other than just this Quidditch player. Other than that, he's just kind of there. And then last person is Xenophilius Lovegood, who loves his daughter to no end. Really supports Harry's side when it comes to all the slander that goes on in the Daily Prophet. However, he also does betray Harry, Ron, and Hermione in order to get his daughter back, which I kind of get because he lost his wife and Luna is the only thing he has. However, to put 3 other kids in danger just to save your daughter is a bit selfish. I'm going to put him in just the good tier. I think he's a good dad, but he also puts other kids' lives in jeopardy. So that is everything for this tier ranker. I'll have to go back and look at Erik's final tier ranker screen so that I can see where we differed the most. I know the big one for us is definitely Sirius. I think there's a couple other people in there, but oh, Bellatrix for sure. I know he put her in the best. So yeah, I just think these are so much fun to see and to do, and to see how people that, especially around my age, who grew up with the books and grew up with Harry going to school kind of around the same age as they were. I always find it really interesting to see how people perceive different characters and the books and the movies and all those things. So I thought this was a lot of fun to do, and I hope you enjoyed it as a little bonus video. If there's any others of these that you would like me to do, link them down in the comments below and I'll think about making more bonus videos for these. But that's going to be it for now, and I would love to know what your thoughts are on my rankings and if we have similarities or differences. So if you feel so inclined, please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!